Hey AfterBuzzers, thank you so much for joining us for another Scream Queens After Show here at AfterBuzz TV. Tonight we're breaking down Season 2, Episode 8, called Rapunzel, Rapunzel, and we have a lot to dissect, so please stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin!
At all. Sorry guys, I love this song. Thank you, AfterBuzzers, for tuning in again to another Scream Queens After Show here at AfterBuzz TV. I am your host, Sam Davidson. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at SamD43. I have my crazy hooligan panel here with me this evening. Let's start with you, Dakota.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Dakota T. Jones. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Mr. Dakota T. Jones.
Hi, I'm Becca Brown. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Becca B Talks TV.
Hey guys, I'm Renee Ariel. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Renee Ariel, and check out my blog, catslipstickla.com. I just did an article, How to Get Over Someone in 15 Easy Steps. Read it.
Awesome. It is hilarious, by the way.
It is.
Guys,
It's the
we are
best.
in the live chat this evening, so please continue to chat. And I would just like to say, I think that Becca should definitely be going to the hospital because she has a disease of laughing. It's like, you know, you need to go to Dr. Brock and Dr. Cassidy, or no, I'm sorry, Holton Cassidy. They could totally diagnose you.
I know.
It would be so much fun.
I don't think
I
they
know.
can cure her, though.
I don't know. They've cured
No.
everyone, but with that being said, everyone is also
Becca's gonna
dying.
die.
We
I'll
shouldn't
pass.
send you there.
No.
We had a nice person from last season that is finally back.
Nice.
I forgot how hot he was. He was
Really?
good looking, yeah.
You think so?
I think so too, kind of.
I always thought he was. Then this episode, I was like, whoa, he's gone downhill.
Yeah.
Really? I thought the opposite.
I think that
Like,
I think it
He was
was
eating his
supposed
hair.
to be going
Yeah.
down.
okay, well, the hair eating didn't attract me. It was just him. When he came back, I was like, ooh.
Hair eating
Renee
is...
likes hair eaters.
Yeah, I was like, he eats hair, you said?
Yeah. Yum,
That's
yum.
what happened.
You should write on your blog about that. But I think that, yeah, eating your hair is definitely a turnoff. That whole
What?
thing whenever he was pulling it, and like
Well, it
you could
was
see
from
the
the
little...
scalp too. Is
Oh.
what was gross.
And you could just see the little like blood drops of like where the pores were just like it was a lot to deal with.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
I
Too
think
much.
I think honestly I had trouble watching that rather than some of the murders that have unfolded just because of the type of
Agreed.
yeah. Don't even
That
know
was
what to
gross.
say.
I saw in your face, too.
Yeah.
You were Dakota was disgusted.
He was.
Hashtag disgusted Dakota.
Yeah.
Hashtag, I got some reaction shots of Dakota tonight, so check out
Oh,
my
yeah.
Twitter.
Get the exclusive on Becca B Talks TV Twitter.
That's true. Dakota had a lot of interesting faces tonight with a lot of the scenes. We're going to get back to Wes. But long story short, you know, he has this thingy in his stomach that he thinks is a tumor, and it's just a big hairball. And,
That's
you know,
disgusting.
we don't even really need to get more into that, but we were like, huh, weird. Like, when did you turn into such a psycho? But I will say, at the end of last season, when he ran off with Munch, I was like, what?
Question mark?
Yeah, there's something wrong with this, that you would just kind of leave your daughter, that,
Yeah.
you know, Munch hates his daughter, Grace, who was brought up many times again tonight.
I miss her.
I
Honestly.
want her to come back.
Yeah.
I know, and you know, it's so funny because it's almost like this song we opened with, like, I ain't missing you at all. I didn't think I was missing Grace, but now I'm missing Grace.
We are missing her.
Yeah.
I think
A
it'd be
lot.
fun to get her back because I don't know if she's filming something else or what her film schedule is or if they literally just kind of wrote her out of the script. But I thought she was so talented. I loved her storyline with I forget his name but you know like the
Diego Bonetta?
yeah Diego
Yeah.
like I really missed that storyline. It was cute.
I miss it too.
I thought it was just I thought they were kind of the main characters of the show.
That's what I thought.
And then they were
Last
gone.
season.
And then they were gone. Yeah.
Well, see, the thing about this season, I think that's hard, is that everybody is crazy. There's not one, except
Literally.
for Zayday, that's kind of sane, but then what we saw from Zayday this episode, I was like, girl, calm down with
Yeah.
your... like, she works in a hospital and she's going around Snapchatting all the patients. That's so weird.
That is
I
very
think
weird.
Chanel number 5 is somewhat sane,
No,
but
she's not.
oh, okay. But the other characters make her seem insane by making fun of her.
Yeah, that's true.
No, listen, I agree. I think that she's the most sane.
She's the most sane.
but that is not saying much.
No.
So by comparing me to number 5, I'd be the most. No, I'm kidding.
Well, actually, I don't think that's equivalent here. Well, let's talk a little bit about Dr. Holt and Chanel. We had a lot of really fun scenes with them tonight.
Yeah, we did.
Honestly,
Some
like
that
made the
made
episode.
Dakota uncomfortable.
very uncomfortable. Okay, first of all, I mean, I don't know how the whole sex thing works, necessarily.
Okay,
But like,
fair enough.
whatever
Same.
the heck he was doing was not what I pictured that to look like. That was just so awkward. Like like
Sex can be awkward.
It was just so weird.
It's not like
Wait.
the movies.
No,
Yeah, no, it's
Is this a class now?
this is sex ed.
Now sex ed, Scream Queens
And we need to
edition.
label it Becca B talks PP.
Oh my gosh.
But
that name makes me uncomfortable. I don't like.
PP.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I like it. I will totally listen to Becca B Talks PP.
Not happening, guys.
I'll
Not
help you
happening.
Produce it.
Nope.
Okay, I will produce it.
Nope.
So yeah, Chanel doesn't really understand how old Dr. Holt is, which, and she thinks that because he mentioned MASH, which is one of the most famous TV shows of all time, that took place, it was World War II.
No,
So is
I
it?
think.
No, they thought it was
They
World
thought it
War
was
II.
World War II.
I'm just being like Chanel. No, but
I'm IMDb.
MASH was about Vietnam.
yes, okay, Vietnam.
It was in
The good old days in Nam.
1972.
Yeah, which is when, actually, Dr. Holt probably was born. So that makes sense, but
Probably.
she got it confused. And
Just a little bit.
Just a teeny
I
tiny
love how
bit.
Jimmy Pink is saying sexy. John Stamos is so unsexy in a sex scene.
Yes.
Sad. So true. Like everyone thinks of John Stamos as this big womanizer, and he's like literally like hardly even moving. It was
takes
just so
two to play the
funny.
game, okay?
I still think his face is, like, sexy.
His body is sexy, his face is sexy. It's like about
Yeah.
chemistry. And
Yeah. It was
Chanel
an awkward.
Chanel was not into it. She was yawning. She was listening to music. She was Snapchatting.
as we've heard she's done before.
She really likes that dog filter,
Yeah.
which we kind of like too over here.
Yeah,
I
we
mean-
just took a Snapchat
Yeah.
of the dog filter.
I like it, but there's so many others to explore.
I know.
Like how old school of her.
I know.
Which
It's
is
like
shocking.
the dog
school.
filter
The
was
dog filter.
a while ago, guys. Like we
No,
moved
it's
on.
cute.
TBT.
Well,
Says the person who doesn't actually, have a personal Snapchat account and doesn't like have
You
it.
don't?
She doesn't.
I don't.
Wait a second. Are you AfterBuzz TV on Snapchat?
She is. Secret
follow us.
reveal.
Weird. Follow us.
Follow
yeah.
us.
Yeah, she's the one that films everyone, but she doesn't ever put it on selfie mode and like put filters. Usually, she's always
No.
filming other hosts.
Yeah.
well,
True.
She needs to get on it.
now you know. So please
She's
look
been
us up.
unmasked.
So we have this awkward sex scene, and Chanel's confused about his age. Hester, I was expecting Hester to have such a bigger part of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like Lynn Michelle has a lot going on, maybe, and that's why.
Maybe.
I love her when I do see her, but I'm happy they didn't like overdo it because I
Yeah.
don't think she
True.
needs a bigger storyline than she already has. We like already went through the serial killer Hester. Like,
Yeah.
are they gonna do it again? That's like overkill.
True.
I mean, yeah, I was curious what they were going to do with her, but I'm kind of just like, well, do we really need her? I'm sure she'll be coming in handy in the last couple of
Yeah.
episodes, but I don't know.
Go.
What?
Finish.
No, you finish.
Finish.
No, I'm just saying that I think that she helped plan that party for Dr. Holt, and she's not stupid from what we know, even though, like, she kind of is stupid in some ways. Remember the thing with Denise, and she basically admitted guilt, and she started talking about double jeopardy. It's like, she's smart, but she's really not super smart sometimes.
Isn't that kind of like
Agreed.
Chanel though too?
Yes.
I thought Chanel was
things.
just dumb. Anyway, go for it.
2 things.
Yes.
I still don't think Hester knows who the killers are.
But she knew.
Well,
It was Taylor Lautner.
besides him.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. I think she only knows.
I don't think she knows who anyone else is, who any of the other killers are. Also, we saw Denise last week, yeah?
Only she was frozen
She was
still.
frozen.
Yeah, but Is she gonna come back?
Yes.
I'm so confused.
Eventually.
Like, where is she? What's happening? Why did we see her last week?
She's still in the freezer.
We just had a lot of other stuff going on this
Yeah.
week.
Can
you
she
know?
get out of the freezer, though?
Probably by the, like, 2 or 3 more episodes, I bet she'll be out.
Like, by the finale?
Yeah.
And she'll be like, I'm Denise Hempfield. And she'll come out
She's gonna save the
frozen
day.
and just, like, save
She's
the
gonna
day.
save the day, yes. She's gonna be the hero.
But she's gonna
Special
struggle.
agent.
Yeah.
FBI. I'm
Dakota's really good at that.
That's a good
Dakota's
impression.
impression of
Thank
Denise
you.
Hempfield is really, truly the best. But I thought it was fun how the Chanels came together, including Hester, who I guess is technically a Chanel, to do the party for Dr. Holt. Which, and then basically Chanel said, you could be 80, you might be 80. She said 40 to 60, but then the next day he was like, if you realize the time era of what you did for me, I would have been 80 years old. And then she didn't even say, oh, I didn't think that. She was just like, well, I don't know.
We should have a party
I know.
themed like that.
A party themed, like,
Like they threw for Holt.
My favorite
The
part
food
of it.
didn't look good.
No. My
All about the food.
liver, like, no thanks.
No thanks.
Okay, but with like chocolate instead of like.
no, we should do one that's in what would it be, in the 80s for the original when the Green Meanie came and
Ooh.
Talking about fondue.
Fondue.
Sure.
no, but that sounds
Becca might have
delicious.
been.
I've never tried that.
Really?
I like chocolate covered strawberries.
We'll definitely have to have those at our party, which we will Periscope and we'll
Yeah.
tell you guys about later.
Did you like, though? My favorite part of that I do want to say is Chanel number 5 is Shirley Temple.
I was gonna say
Oh,
that.
that
Yeah.
was so funny.
That was my favorite.
So good.
Best thing I've ever seen.
Yes,
good.
loved that. Really hilarious. Didn't get enough of number 3 this episode, but I
Yeah.
think that she's going to be a big part of it in the last 2 episodes. Let's talk about the Zayday of it all.
I'm glad she's back.
Me
I missed her
too.
last week.
She looks good. She is rocking that dress when she was meeting up with Chamberlain.
Oh, that was. I was like, what? Did she like do something different?
No,
She did look really good in
her
that dress. I know the
hair,
red,
dress.
the
Yeah,
red,
she did.
blue, and white. Was it red, blue, and white, or just red and blue?
I don't know.
I think
Was
it
it
was
red,
like
blue,
red
and
and
black?
blue.
She was gorgeous.
She
and
looked
I was
hot in it, yeah.
So about it.
She looks great, but I know I said this earlier, but Zayday has always been like understated.
She is.
You know, yeah, but then she did her whole social media thing, and I was like,
That was funny.
What the hell?
What is she doing?
I like you so much less now that I know that you do all of that. I don't,
She's, yeah.
you know, I don't
It
know.
was
I
very
just
like
like
a
her-
Chanel move to go around and Snapchat everybody.
Can I just say that I like her less because she films like this instead of like this?
Becca, that's how I film. This is
think
how
I like-
film, Becca.
Does
All of you
James feel
less
the
now.
same way?
Do you-
Absolutely. That is the worst thing to do because all you have to do is turn your phone sideways and then it's widescreen HD format as
Are-
opposed to stretch and blur format.
Wait, is that
Thank
for real?
you.
Is it really HD when you do it like this?
Yeah, if you edit, you know the troubles that you have to do when you have to change cell.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But like
Thank
on
you.
Snapchat, does it really matter? I don't like
Not
how
on
it's
Snapchat.
HD.
On Snapchat,
But-
it
That's
doesn't
only
have-
lasting for 24 hours in
So
one
that
clip.
makes
Like
sense.
it's cool.
HD, I mean 16:9 format.
Yeah.
Like, size.
Interesting.
Not like high definition.
I need to try that because I always am doing this. I need to do that.
Well, guys, now you know.
Yeah. Now we know.
They're gonna sneeze.
So Zayday decides with Chamberlain, who is being stalker boy. I kind of thought he was gay a little bit.
I thought he was.
So,
oh, sorry. I thought he was too.
fine.
hold hands.
Let's just, me and Dakota are gonna hold hands now. I totally thought he was gay,
Yeah.
or a murderer. I wasn't sure.
Because they go hand in hand.
No, they do not go hand in hand. It was just like two things I was kind of tossing in my mind. I was like,
We're gonna stay
murderer,
silent.
But, we got that he was not, and I don't think is the murderer. Are you guys, like, over the whole Chamberlain murderer?
Now I am.
He's, well, as far as we
Well,
know, dead. I think he's dead. I don't think he's the murderer.
Thanks for running it.
Obviously.
Spoiler
That was
alert.
the big finale we were
Oh
going
my
to
god, I'm sorry, Dakota.
Oh my
I
gosh.
didn't mean to.
Well, him and Zayday team up, and also the Chanels helped Zayday, which I thought was kind of fun.
And they helped Chamberlain.
Or no, I'm sorry, they helped Chamberlain.
Oh, I was like,
is
when did
what
they help
I meant.
Zayday?
They were trying to actually help Zayday, like, just, in retrospect, to
Yeah.
get Chamberlain and her to work. So she did on his phone, which is genius, actually, that you block some. I don't think
that's
you
a
can
thing.
actually do that.
No, I don't think
And
so.
if you block someone, I don't think you get their messages, even if you unblock
You
them
don't.
from that time. That's smart. iPhone, next update.
Seriously.
Going back to the Snapchat thing, Vinesh, I don't know if I'm saying that right, on the chat says Kiki Palmer is a big Snapchat user, and maybe that's why the writers picked up on that.
That's cool. I like that, and I think I do follow her on Snapchat, but I kind of just thought it was like out of character
Yeah.
for
I thought it was as well.
her.
The gag of the day. I wonder if she says that on her Snapchat. I wonder if she's like, the gag of the
something like
day.
that.
I wonder if she says something like that. Maybe they incorporated it in, but yeah, I think it was kind of out of character for Zayday.
I think that the thing about some of the characters that have bothered me sometimes is that, at least with Grace last season, right? If she was just like 100% good. And then Zayday kind of teetered, but like she was too. There's not a good middle ground where you're like debatable with some people.
Yeah.
I mean, Munch, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But this season, I think it's pretty clear she does not really care about anyone but herself.
Munch
Yeah.
or Zayday?
Munch.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I'm surprised that she hasn't been under that mask yet, to be honest. At least, like,
'Cause the only
even if she
killing-
was like a fake killer or something, I'm surprised she hasn't been under it.
I mean, the thing is that we'll get into this, but we have found out technically who we think the 3 killers are. But
Yeah.
from the beginning, Munch has had some kind of weird ulterior motives, and I do not buy that it's her weird disease.
I don't buy it.
Why would
either.
she bring the Chanels in, the worst
Yeah.
doctors in the world?
I think she's like orchestrating it.
Yeah, she's somehow like the puppet master.
Yeah.
She's never been behind the mask, but she's
the puppet master.
and she knows everything. Because, yeah, like, why would you bring the Chanels? Why would you bring Zayday? I mean, Zayday's smart, but she's really not using her for being smart.
Yeah, there's a reason they're like back under Munch's command.
Yeah, there's definitely a reason behind that. I don't know what it is, but I think it would be interesting to see Munch kind of being a part of it all, because the only thing that we've seen her being bad before is basically her killing her ex-husband, which is pretty bad, but like not as bad as a lot of the things that have happened on the show.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was just kind of like a one-time thing, and then she just kind of has been chilling ever since. But I don't know. I do feel like there's got to be more there. Otherwise, why would she even think to bring the Chanels in?
You know, I'm actually starting to agree with you, mostly because I know there needs to be another surprise at this point. If it truly is, I'm blanking on his name, Grace's dad. What is his name? Wes.
Spoiler alert.
If the killer is Wes and we just found that out now, it's not the finale yet. There needs to be another twist. Munch would make a lot of sense if she was like the puppet master. Right? I definitely agree with that. However, I'm still hoping it's not even Wes. I'm hoping it's his daughter, and he was trying to cover
That's
for his
what I'm
daughter.
hoping.
Yeah, which I think we'll get to in predictions. But that would be, and then in that case, maybe that is the last surprise, and Munch isn't a part of it. I don't know. I just know there has to be one more surprise in there for us.
And that's pretty much exactly what someone on the chat, JS, said. So.
Well, I
Cool,
also think
JS.
Vinesh, I cannot say your last name, I'm so sorry.
Saye?
Dean Munch has a life-threatening disease. We cannot blame her for trying to get double pounding. Well, I would usually say that's so gross, Vinesh. That's perverted, but I mean, this is very in line with the episode, and the episode was very perverted and crazy. And, you know, Dean Munch, like we said, took Wes back, and...
Yeah.
Oh, the thing is you don't know whether to take this show seriously. Right, you're not supposed to.
I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think we're
You're not
supposed
supposed to. But then, you kind
not.
of extend your brain so far that you're like, oh, everybody's crazy. But really, like, there are characters that are supposed to be grounded that I think, like, we kind of are looking past because we're just assuming that everyone's a psycho.
That's true.
So, and I think that's where they're going to get us, at least.
What do you mean?
For instance, Wes last season, you know, he seemed relatively normal.
Yes.
He seemed like one of the only normal people.
Yeah.
He did.
But now he comes back with, like, all these ulterior
Psycho.
motives, everything that's happened. And again with Munch, I mean, we still really haven't figured her out as far as what her motive is. But I want to get back to Zayday because they lured the Green Meanie, got hit, and of course it was bath. And let's talk about this bath that Zayday was drying.
A bathy?
Yeah, the bathy. And I also loved what number 5 said. She was like, well, the hot doctor said, you want to draw me a bathy?
I'd think I'd gone to heaven. Or
Yeah.
But we noticed when Zayday was trying to draw the green meanie in and
Oh my gosh,
Chamberlain was
yeah.
there. Tell us what you
Dakota's
noticed.
a
Yeah, I like
detective.
paused it and then I went back. I'm wearing my detective jacket right now. I went back and I paused. There was a red devil rubber ducky in the bath along with a green meanie kind of duck in the bath, which I don't know if that was just like a hidden Easter egg for like, you know, that a lot
Wasn't
of
a
people do,
coincidence.
or
That
if it was
couldn't be a
something that like
coincidence.
Zayday really orchestrated. But yeah, there was like a red devil and a green meanie rubber ducky in the tub.
Well, that's a good point. What if Zayday is the one orchestrating this? Again, listen, Zayday haters, whatever. I'm sorry, guys. If you're upset with us for thinking Zayday could be the killer, anybody could be the killer. So
Yeah.
we talk about
Anyone.
it all the time.
It really could.
But that was very telling because she specifically put it in there.
I totally agree, because it was one of those things where I was like, wait, hold on, go back.
Yeah.
What is this? But yeah, it was so funny because we thought she was naked because we saw her shadow, but then was she just in like a very tight fitted outfit? I don't know. We saw her shadow. She was naked.
Was
Wait,
she
what?
naked?
Like, cause was
Well,
she
she was
wearing?
getting in the bath.
I know, but then all of a sudden she just like wasn't in the bath and she was in clothes, but we saw the outline of her naked body.
Oh, maybe
That's
she was
true.
wearing like a jumpsuit or something
Maybe.
because they were trying to do the whole psycho effect
Okay.
behind the
Yeah.
curtain. Jimmy Pink commented and said that this episode was more like season 1, and
I
I
agree.
loved it. Jamie Lee Curtis directed it.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh wow. You know, I totally agree with you.
You
Jimmy.
said that, Dakota, right after the episode.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? This reminds me of season 1. I love
It
it
does.
because, like, I love the show. The past few episodes I've loved, but like have been a little bit maybe off for me, just a little bit. And it's been nice because I'm like, oh my gosh, finally we see like this twist that we did not see coming. All the other twists I kind of saw coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
This one I was like,
didn't.
oh my gosh, like this is crazy. I did not expect this. And then what happened in the end, I was just not expecting. And I was like, this is the Scream Queens that I fell in love
Yeah,
It is.
with.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I like it too. I hope that it kind of continues that way. I'm sad there's only 2 episodes after this, and we were debating about it. Please let us know, fans, because you might know better than we do. I'm pretty sure this is a limited series. Like, it's 10. Last season, I think it was 12 or 13. So I was a bit thrown off. But it's supposed to be only 10 this season, is what I've heard. And that's just not enough for me. And so I'm interested if anyone thinks or knows
We want more,
if there's going to be more. But I don't
dear
know.
Fox. We want more.
I kind of feel like, you know, Ryan Murphy has his hands full with, like, all of his other shows, that this is kind of like a once-a-year thing.
It's kind of crazy because it was so popular last season. There was 13 episodes, and then with this one, you'd think they'd be like, "Oh wow, last year was so popular. We're gonna
Let's
do
add more."
13 or 20, whatever." But the fact that they could have gone further with it and maybe didn't is kind of interesting, just because.
Sorry, I'm gonna sneeze. I'm sorry.
I was just looking at your face. You were like
I
so
can't
serious.
stop
at
it. It gets really bad.
But no, yeah, I really was expecting to see more episodes this season. So I really hope that it is one of those things where they stop maybe for a couple months and then after the new year come back.
Yeah, they always, like, surprise us and then keep things very much under wraps, so I hope they do. With Zayday continuing, you know, they find this fabric, and she goes to the Pretty Little Liars mask store,
Oh,
is what
scary.
I like to call it, mask and costume store.
Basically, where A gets all of
Yeah.
his or her
Yeah.
costumes.
Dakota's reaction.
Yeah, like that
Oh.
man
Was the
has been
best
like green
ever.
meanie, like you name it, I've dressed them.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
basically.
like the Hollywood
He's
stylist.
like the
for
stylist for murderers.
killers. Yeah.
On
What a
in
great
Hollywood.
gig.
Who loves hands. He loves hands. We could just tell from him talking. And then remember when he said, "This old lady bought it. She had really nice hands."
No, he loves handies,
That's true.
hand jobs.
But
Thanks for breaking that down for us.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ooh.
Dakota just was skittering on those lines, so I thought I'd just make that clear.
yeah.
So then, of course, Zayday realizes that it's Jane, the mother of Taylor Lautner.
Cassidy.
Cascade.
Yeah, Cassidy Cascade. And she, like, marches over there, goes in.
Marches.
She really does, though.
She does.
She was so, I mean,
She does.
ballsy.
Very
And
scary.
before
too.
she did so, she had texted Chamberlain and sent him a voicemail and everything saying, "I'm at Jane's, this is what's happening," but he wasn't getting any of them. And she goes in, and what does Jane do, Renee?
I was like,
Oh.
what are you talking about? She uses lorazepam to drug her tea.
Yeah.
Me and Sam take lorazepam to get through long flights because we have a fear of flying.
Yes. we have anxiety, and if you're flying.
So do I.
Sam
don't
used to call
do
it
that.
fake Xanax. I'm like, no, Sam, it's called lorazepam. And so when that scene happened, Sam just looked at me.
Yeah, and the thing is, it would take a lot.
Like a lot, or you'd have to mix it with alcohol for like you to pass out like that.
Yeah, but like a lot. I still think it'd be a lot. She must have taken like a whole bottle of lorazepam.
And wouldn't
Which
you
is-
think this tea tastes a little like ass? Like, don't you think though? I mean, really.
If she used like many pills, like yeah, it would taste weird, right?
It tastes super weird.
But then again, it'd be rude to be like, why does your tea taste so bad?
Yeah,
I wouldn't
but
drink
just, like, sip
anyone's
it.
tea. If
When
you
you-
think someone's the murderer, don't drink their
Drink
tea.
their tea. There you go.
Good life advice.
I mean, lessons from Dakota, please no.
if you think
That's some
someone
good
is a
advice.
murderer, do not drink their tea.
or
Yeah.
eat
Or
anything.
anything.
Say that you will and pretend to and be like, oh, that's so
Pour
nice.
it in the plant.
Pour it in the
But,
plant.
Yeah,
Pour it in
yeah.
Or
the plant.
switch the teas, do a little switcheroo, but then don't drink the other one just in case, and then hopefully the other person will drink it, and then they're gonna pass out with lorazepam, and then you're good.
Why'd you have to
And
go
they're
and
good.
make things so complicated?
And then whenever what's her name's passed out, Zadie can search the house for anything suspicious.
For any clues.
For any clues. I do want to know
For any
where
maths.
she woke up though. Where did she wake up?
It was because remember last season when Nick Jonas, I always confuse Nick Jonas kidnapped Zadie because he had like a secret crush on her, and basically
How
threw her
cute.
in like a well, or like it was like
Oh,
a,
I remember that.
it was like
that was.
a deep down something, and he
Oh my
was
gosh.
really into her, and like the Red
forgot
Devil
about
was
that.
like trying to like court her. It was super funny, and Zadie's like,
Oh.
what the heck?
I
Wait,
remember that.
Nick Jonas's character was gay though.
No, he was
No,
fake
he was
gay.
pretending to be gay.
Oh,
Yeah.
so he really
my
liked
gosh.
Zadie.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, do you mean
Zadie.
whenever he took her down in there and like made her the meal and stuff like that?
Yeah, he was actually like into her.
And so then she found herself in another underground well thing.
Yeah.
It was like surrounded with green too. It was like very interesting.
Yeah.
So
Very,
it was like a parallel to
I
last
think
season.
that she's somehow tied to this in some way, shape, or form.
How did she get out though? Or do we know if she got out?
I don't think we
We don't
do
know, but we do know that Chamberlain got the voicemail and started, freaking out. And he's like, oh my God. And then he went to go talk to Wes.
Like, okay, if you think someone's the killer, I'm gonna go in alone
new
with
guy.
them.
He's
we're
like,
gonna,
you're sketchy.
you're
I'm gonna go talk to you.
I'm gonna go to your house. We're gonna close the door behind me. It's gonna be
Yeah.
a good time.
Oh my
It's gonna
god.
be a
No.
great time.
Right.
I don't know about you guys. I
Romance.
stay away from murderers, and I don't go into
You
their
do?
homes.
You don't? You don't do that?
No,
Renee and I do that.
I try maybe.
Yeah, we looked
So
them up for
sad.
like, this is where they live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any tea we could have?
Yeah. Do you have any tea?
I actually
any, like-
prefer their coffee.
Okay.
Same.
Becca just drinks whatever men give her. Like,
Yeah.
There you go.
I drink their wine. I drink all of their wine.
oh,
and I'm
right.
like,
And then
okay.
you're boom, gone.
I'm totally out of there.
Oh, my
So
goodness.
Chamberlain is being a bit of a hero now, which I really like. We realize he loves Zadie. Super into her.
I
at
thought that was
least.
very cute. Very cute.
And then, how we doing over there, Bex?
Becca's still laughing at that
Bex.
joke.
Yeah. It's
See,
it
Becca,
was
great.
a good
Invite
joke.
Becca to your comedy show.
I know she
Oh,
would.
she would just die.
Just die in my
You
comedy
couldn't
show.
even get through a joke.
Next, I'm sorry, this Saturday, 9:30 at Flappers in Burbank. Anyways, he goes there to Wes's house, and Pretty Ballsy starts asking him questions because he did that because he found the hair that was in his intestines. And in the hair in his intestines was a receipt for a machete
No, it was a chainsaw.
and a chainsaw. No, it was both.
Oh, it was?
Yep.
They don't mess around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
machete
So
chainsaw.
apparently, Wes just ate it because he was like, "This is the best place to put it. Nobody will find this." But it was in the hair that was in his intestines.
Ugh.
And a piece of the green meanie costume.
And he also ate apparently.
So apparently he said that he had to get really drunk in order to eat all the hair. And then he pounded the hair, and then he just must have eaten whatever else was on the counter. So a chainsaw, machete, receipt, and part of the green meanie costume. Not suspicious at all. Totally fine.
Not weird, no.
That's so gross.
Yeah, it was very gross. and
Receipts are dirty.
The hair is dirty.
all of it is just dirty and just
True.
disgusting. I mean, that man's inner lining of his body is destroyed. That's all I know.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, but I mean it
Totes
is.
my goats.
But Wes started talking a lot about
goats.
Grace.
Yeah.
that he was doing this for Grace against revenge against the Chanels, because apparently he said Grace went to Stanford for some kind of grad school or something, but it was really Stanford
An
mental
insane
institution, mental
Asylum,
asylum.
yeah.
But you need to be really smart to be admitted.
Really? That's so funny.
Which I think is really funny. It's like, okay, like you can only be accepted to this mental asylum if you're a genius.
So it's like really smart, creepy people.
Yeah.
So Hester could go there.
I will say that scene with him when they were talking about, when he was just giving the whole spiel to Chamberlain, he did say, like, now he's back. Like, this was going to be the start of it. Mm-hmm. But those murders already happened. So whoever did kill those other people, from what I got, implied that he hadn't killed anyone yet. I think Chamberlain was the first guy because he said now he's back to do that. He didn't say he came back and then started doing this. He made it seem like coming back would be easy to get in and out of the hospital, and then he's going to start killing people, right?
Yeah.
That's what I got from it.
Do you think he was under the mask, though, whenever Zayday and Chamberlain were going to get killed? Or no? Do you think that was probably Cassidy, or do you think that was the one we don't know who it is yet? Maybe there's 4 green meanies now. But he said there's 3 because they went to the costume
because of the
shop.
costumes. Because of how many people bought.
So it either had to have been Hoffel, Hoffel,
But maybe he didn't buy a green
Cascade.
meanie costume. Maybe he made one.
Like a homemade?
Like, we don't know, because here's the thing. The way he said it, it didn't seem like he's been killing anyone. And it's been so clear that there's a third person that's been killing other people.
Yeah.
And his whole plan, the whole reason he ate the hair to get this procedure was to get into the hospital to kill people. So, if he has been the killer, he has been getting in and out easily, then why do this? Why have that
That's true.
plan? Why not have done this a long time ago?
Well, he did say that when he heard that people were getting murdered by this green meanie at the hospital, he was like, oh, okay, I'm just going to start doing it. And last week, Taylor Lautner said to, Cassidy said to Hoffel.
Always call him Taylor Lautner.
He was like, there's a second one, and I don't know who it is. So I'm thinking that Wes actually has been killing people, and he didn't make the other 2 green meanies aware
Maybe
of
he
it.
just hasn't been the one at the hospital.
Maybe. Did you see though? Whenever one of the green meanies walked in today, they focused on his pants, and his pants looked different than they've ever looked. They focused on
detective.
Which green meanie?
I don't know. Whenever we saw the legs walking in on one of the shots, his legs had like fake green goo kind of splattered on it, kind of like a Nickelodeon type of look on the bottom, like the green goo. And it looked different. Like, I've never seen the green meanie's pants look like that, and he was wearing these boots that were a little different than what I've seen. I thought the costume looked a little different, so maybe it is Wes, who doesn't have the official costume, but has like a replica, or he kind of made up his own, has the same mask.
Yeah.
I did think it looked a little different.
Also, there's that scene where the green meanie came to get Munch and Wes, and they imply, they're like, oh, someone must be mad that we're back together, which would not be Taylor Lautner.
No.
That would be Grace.
That would be Grace. Goes back to that theory.
Oh my gosh.
Also, didn't Jane kind of admit that she was one of the killers?
No,
she said that, okay, well, good point. We should talk about that in a minute. She said that after the thing with her husband happened, that she basically made her brother become a murderer. And in the flashback, we saw in the year or 2 after the original incident happened that someone came and killed everyone on Halloween, that was her brother.
Mm-hmm.
But she also said that her and her
died.
son have been killing people.
Right, after he died from a fight that he probably deserved, I guess.
How does Zayday not know, though, it's Cassidy Cascade? It's so obvious. I mean, obviously to us, but, like, put 2 and 2 together. Like,
because
you know what
she
I'm saying?
wasn't around last week when Chanel number 3 told everyone that it's Cassidy Cascade.
But she didn't tell everyone.
She basically did.
Hester kind of said, oh, why don't you ask your boyfriend? And then it kind of made it a little obvious.
and Chanel number 5 knows as well.
Yeah.
Really? How does she know?
Remember they would go, Chanel, oh, who was it? Was it Chanel number 5? I think it was.
I think it was Chanel too.
Was it? No, I think it was just Chanel number 5. Was it also Chanel? Where she was like, so turn him in. And then she's like, no, that's romantic. That whole thing. She was confiding in someone.
Oh, yeah,
I thought it was Chanel number 5.
I think so.
Wow. It's so crazy. You think the word would get around and they would put an end to it, but like.
Well, Hester's all around, so.
That's
they
true.
don't-
Yeah. But Cam Creative in the chat said, I don't think Wes would try to kill Zayday, though, because Zayday and Grace were best friends. That's a good point. I thought about that, too, but also we don't know, like, maybe Zayday kind of, like, left her in the lurch. Zayday never talks about her.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
And I always thought, remember I was saying, like, at the beginning of the season, I think it's weird that they're not talking about Grace, like, she didn't exist. And it's annoying me because she was, like, supposed to be the main character of last season, essentially. But I think they are. I think all of that is going to come back to that. So, yeah, then we find out that Wes apparently is, you know, another green meanie.
Is a
Or is
psycho.
gonna try to kill the Chanels at least. Yeah.
Yeah. And stabs Chamberlain, who, I mean, seems pretty dead.
He seems dead.
He's dead.
He's pretty dead.
And then that creepy moment whenever he picks up and listens to Zayday's voicemail and then like looks in the mirror, I was like, oh, he's like total psycho killer. And I thought he was such like a, like a cool dad, you know, from the last season. And he seemed like one of the only normal ones. I felt awful for him whenever the girl he was dating ended up being like the mom or like the, you know, the hag of Shady Lane or whatever. That I felt so bad for him, and I was like, oh man, this poor guy is just trying to date, and this lady's killer, whatever. And I felt bad for him, and I rooted for him. And then this episode, I was just like, yes, I love how they totally flipped it. He was so creepy, and he's like, oh, give me a hug, and then stabbed him. I think he's an amazing actor. That whole scene in his apartment was incredible. I thought he did an amazing job, and I was so happy whenever he killed him. I thought that was just like, I was just like, this is such a cool episode. I feel like this is the Scream Queens that I know and love from last season.
Can you say that again?
I'm happy that he killed him.
Yes. Dakota's also in a sexy yet creepy trench coat this evening.
Yeah, the
So,
guy in the trench coat said he likes that killing scene.
You might want to turn me in.
And JX in the chat said something super interesting. Cassidy has admitted to trying to kill Zayday and said she was really hard to kill. Why was she really hard to kill?
Because
Just
she's so
a
her
fighter?
reflexes.
She is.
Remember that one time whenever
She fights. She slays.
it must have been Cassidy who was trying to kill Chamberlain and Zayday that one time. He ended up kind of stabbing Chamberlain, but then like Zayday kind of got away. Like she always outsmarts and always kind of gets out of it. She's so smart and like it's so hard to kill her. And I just
It's so hard to kill her.
it's like, you know, playing a video game and it's that one character you just cannot slay. It's annoying.
Oh man.
Right?
You sound like the killer.
I know.
Maybe
Guys,
Dakota's the green
I
meanie.
think maybe Dakota. They actually have like cross.
That's why he's wearing a trench
like,
coat.
Someone
He's like
put-
trying to not be suspicious, but he's
Scream
very
Queens
suspicious.
AfterBuzz TV crossover.
Yeah.
This one
Someone
over
put
here.
something in my tea.
Lorazepam?
Lorazepam.
Well, I mean, Renee and I both could be guilty of that, but
True.
anyways, let's get into some quotes. Our
Oh my
favorite
gosh.
quotes for the evening.
Yes.
Ooh,
Um,
ooh.
Do you have one?
Yes.
I think my favorite quote was when Jane was like, "You do realize that we are insane people, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
She was creepy though. She totally flipped a switch.
She did.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, she did.
and Chanel's, and that's my good deed for the year.
Yes.
I love that.
That was a great one.
I
I-
liked. Oh, sorry.
no, go
Do you
for
wanna Go? Okay. I liked when Zayday was doing her Snapchat thing with the guy with tuberculosis. He goes, 1918 called "It Wants Its Disease Back." And I also really liked when Chanel was talking about MASH, and he was like, "Oh, it was the greatest, the world." What did he say? It was the greatest show, whatever.
Yeah.
And she was like, "I think you mean Boy Meets World."
Yes.
Yes.
And yeah, that's it.
Corey Topanga or Love.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love story. Yes.
One of my favorites, I have two. One of them was from Munch, and she said, "I used to put his head between my legs, look in the mirror, and pretend I'm a 1970s porn star." I was like, what?
That's a good one.
It took me a while to realize what she meant by that, and I was like, oh, okay, I kind of get it.
Yeah.
And then my other one was what Chanel said about sex. She said, "If you play your cards right, I may even move a little."
I loved that one too.
I was like, that's funny. It's funny.
Okay, so one of my favorites is when they were talking about what was the tumor inside of Wes with the giant hairball. It says, "It's a giant hairball. Looks like Trump's wig."
That was
Yes.
funny.
And then when Chanel was talking about her in bed, she goes, "I'm hot. I don't have to be good in bed. I just lay here and let hot guys pork me. But for you, I will let you look at my boobs."
I was like, oh, how generous.
So kind. I mean, God, who wouldn't love to have sex with Chanel Oberlin?
I know. She seems like such a joy.
Yes. On that point, let's get into some predictions, guys.
Oh my gosh, hold on. Can you please say this one now?
Sorry, there's one more we have.
I'm sorry.
I take so many. Okay. when Wes was talking about Grace, that she was something wrong with her. During the Katy Perry and Taylor Swift feud, she sided with Katy, and no matter how many times I fought her, she refused to wear any hats.
I love that because it's like the whole Taylor Swift Katy Perry feud was just so funny.
Ridiculous.
And most people sided with Taylor. I sided with Taylor.
Yeah.
And the fact that he said, and she sided with Katy. I knew she was sick in the head.
I know.
I'm just
Yeah,
like,
that was funny.
that's the way to determine.
That's
I'm telling
And
you.
there
definitely.
is one more from Dr. Holt when Chanel threw him the party, and he goes, "I was offended and afraid for the future of our country."
That was funny.
That
like
one,
that.
I loved that one.
Because the
yeah.
Chanels are total millennials, like just total, like it totally
Like, if
represents.
they
like,
The
voted-
Snapchatting, the texting, all of it.
I was like, oh.
Wait, Snapchatting's a millennial thing?
Okay, millennials, let's get into these predictions.
Prediction.
Predicts.
I
Is that a
almost
millennial thing too?
said predicts, but then I was like, don't say that. But then I just did. Renee.
Good story.
I think I'm gonna stick with the. I think the last surprise is either going to be that I believe you guys with the Munch being like the puppet master, or I think that Grace is going to be the killer. I don't think it'll be both. I think it's one or the other. But I really think / hope that it's Grace being the killer, and that what's his face, Wes, has not actually killed anyone yet, and it's actually his daughter that's been doing it, and he's trying to protect his daughter. And I also still stand by. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking
Becca.
on her name. No, FBI. Denise. I was like, what's her name? Okay, Denise. I still think Denise is going to disappear from the freezer when they finally go to let her out.
Yep.
Yeah, when are they gonna let her out?
I have no clue. What do you think, Becca?
I predict they'll let her out sometime before the season ends.
I would sure hope so.
Prediction.
Seriously.
That's a really good prediction. I also predict that Grace could be the killer. You
Yep.
never know. I mean, if she's insane, maybe, and I want to see her back in the show.
I think, honestly, after you said that, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that. But I do think it's probably Grace, and that her father is coming back and had to find his way into the hospital to try to, one, see Munch, but two, try to be able to somehow figure out how to help his daughter and be there in the thing so he can maybe catch her and like help her. Like maybe she escaped from the asylum. I don't know. But she obviously has gone crazy, which is something I didn't expect. She probably has it out for the Chanels because they're the ones who did her wrong. So I could see her coming back, and the reason that whenever he was eating the hair and he got like the receipt and the green meanie costume, I think that was on the table because it was Grace's, and he probably accidentally ate that and he's trying to cover for her. So I think it is probably Grace, and I just wanted to kind of elaborate on that. I think that that could totally be a part of it. I would love that. I would be so happy with that
Me
ending
too.
if that was what was going on.
So I really want Grace to be kind of one of the green meanies, but I noticed that Wes said was when he talked about her several times.
I did too.
And I don't know if he meant like was in the mental institution. You know what I mean? So like there could be a lot of different explanations to why he used her in a past tense.
Was.
But he did a couple of times. So what if she's dead?
That's what I was thinking at one point.
And I don't want that, but I could see her being dead and then him kind of, that's why he went so crazy, was because his daughter died and he was trying to figure out who did this and then like kind of pinpointed all these people.
Interesting.
So, I don't
like
know.
that.
And of course, I think Denise is going to come back and she's going to come back a little weird, but it's going to be hilarious.
I think weird is normal for Denise, though.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking like Frozen. Like she's gonna be like kind of like Iceman. I don't know. I'm excited for it though. I can't wait. On that note, guys, thank you so much for tuning in this week. We love having you on the live chat. You guys watching us. Where can everyone find y'all on social media?
Hey guys, I'm Renee Ariel. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Renee Ariel, and check out my blog catslipstickla.com and read what to do, how to get over someone in 15 easy steps.
Hi, I'm Becca Brown. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Becca B Talks TV. Also, just want to point out that Hester is also Wes's daughter because the chat is going crazy and saying that.
You're right.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. And you guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Mr. Dakota T. Jones. I just dropped a video where I did my best friend's makeup. You girls, that's super hard. I don't know how you guys do it, but check that out. It was very interesting. I may have done an awful job.
You guys can find me, Sam Davidson, at samdavidsonentertainment.com, Twitter and Instagram, SamD43. Just want to give a shout out to Bella Noor Designs. That's Bella Noor Designs. They're on Instagram, and they made these beautiful bracelets and necklace for me, and they have a 20% off sale for the holidays. So use Holiday20 to do that. Follow them on Instagram, and of course, City Under the Sea made me this amazing mood ring. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and we have a special guest next week, and so stay tuned for all of that. Thanks, guys. Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.